for me. Hey everybody, I'm Cortez and I'm a critic, and welcome. We're continuing our quick videos of the NFL 2025 preview show, and today we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, my favorite team, but I must be professional because trust me, I am scared. I don't like this notion of people talking about the Buccaneers in very positive light because I don't like the spotlight on Buccaneers. I don't know why. I don't like us being favored in most times. I like us being doubted and basically borderline criticized. And then when we show up, we'd be like, ha ha ha. But now it's gonna be like, ha ha, we won. It's like, well, yeah, we all thought you were gonna win. My big concern is the Buccaneers offense because it sucks when your team is good and you keep getting new offensive coordinators third year in a row, and I just feel like they just want to see if Baker can do it again. And the only reason why I kind of feel not completely crazy is that at least, you know, Grizzly was there with the Buccaneers before under Liam Cohen. He was there on the third down conversion guy, so I don't feel that completely crazy. And I'm hoping the Buccaneer defense is definitely not as bad as it was last year due to injuries. And honestly, just, you know, Todd Bowles saying, enough's enough, I'm going to fix this. So if Tampa wants to prove that they are more than just a 10-win, get into the playoffs, and then people complain about them not being worthy of a playoff positioning like you always do every season, Tampa, you got to prove that you definitely are at least a borderline contending team, because people are saying Super Bowl, and well, your 3 games to watch for Tampa Bay fans is Week 6 versus San Francisco. I think this is a good early, I would say Philadelphia, but I try to skip the first 4 games of the season because I still believe the first 4 games are more or less preseason games because your starters are playing. So that's why I never really look at the first 4 games really unless something crucial happens. Yes, I understand they beat, Atlanta, they beat Philadelphia, that could determine playoff positioning down the line. But I do believe that the first 4 weeks, I think everyone is still trying to get their dancing shoes together and see if it all fits in. And San Francisco and Tampa is a good test to say, all right, Tampa, let's see if you guys, shook off the rust of the first 4 weeks and now compete. And San Francisco's coming to your house, so at least that's good. It's coming to your house. And Tampa has a very unique schedule in the second half of the season that the last 10 games, 8-2 is possible. So you definitely want to get these games against the teams early while they're still fresh before they start discovering their identity. Week 12 at Los Angeles. Oh boy. Going across the country is never good. But the Bucs did go against the Los Angeles Chargers last season, and they put a 40-burger on the Chargers. Even I was impressed by that win. But the Rams, for whatever reason, is a conference foe. And the Rams somehow, history dictates, have always been able to literally ram their way through the Buccaneers season. So this could be determining literally a playoff. This could be determining whether who's a second seed or a third seed, and God forbid, a first round seed between these two teams, if they're both competing for playoff positioning. This could be literally a division foe versus division foe in, face to face. And then week 15 hosting Atlanta. I said in my Atlanta video, this is the game that's going to determine whether week 1 is a payback game or a sweep game. And for Tampa, especially if Atlanta doesn't choke like they did last year, you definitely want to keep in track with Atlanta, or at least in any case, at least keep head above water when it comes to playoff positioning. Because if Atlanta wins the division, you kind of want to still be there in the playoffs and get into the playoffs either way. Yes, the division title is great. Yes, you want that home game. But I'm telling you right now, sometimes just getting into the dance is more than enough. Hell, the Bucs, you guys won 3 straight road games on the way to your second Super Bowl. So don't sit here and tell me that just because we don't win the division doesn't mean anything. And quite frankly, I think teams that get into the playoffs that don't win the division have this dogfight mentality. But week 15 versus Atlanta in Tampa is going to be a big one, not just for Tampa, but for Atlanta as well. Highest point for the Buccaneers, 12-win season, easy. If the Bucs play to their stats and God forbid injuries do not plague like last year, we basically lost 90% of our offense. They played to play against the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Niners, the worst times, the Falcons. This could be easily, and I believe defense and the second-year players like Bucky Irvin and them will do it. And I really do believe Mbuka is going to show out a lot more than I thought he was going to do there. I mean, he's being thrust in because of McMillan and Godwin's injuries. And quite frankly, Tampa, don't rush those guys in. Do not rush them. They're not ready. Don't rush them in. But if worst case scenario, the offense gets depleted, the defense can't stop a cold, and the Buccaneers just can't do it. 8-9. 8-9. They lose too many last-second heartbreak. Like they lose. Like the defense can't stop last-minute drives by certain teams. They lose to teams they shouldn't lose to. Like they probably lose to a 3-win Saints team at the worst time. You know, like a big stub your toe moment. And 8-9, and then we'll see what happens. But 8-9 is the lowest, and this could be a case of they just missed the playoff because they happen to lose, to the Saints or to the Cardinals at the worst time when the season's basically lost for those teams. MVP candidate, as much I want to give it to Baker Mayfield, and I understand too, but I think Bucky, because he's gonna get more playing time earlier in the season. To me, Bucky Irving is going to be the MVP for the Buccaneers because of his check down and open space. He may not get the consistency that I think you would believe, but I think Bucky's going to have great situational play that's going to keep the drive going. Third down conversions, big run after catches, his physicality. He's going to take a lot of pressure off Baker Mayfield, especially early in the season when we have two key receivers out for at least the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season. And I really don't want to put all that pressure on Mbuka, but if Mbuka shows out, then I definitely can see Baker Mayfield MVP candidate. Verdict for the Buccaneers, Super Bowl. Yes, I'm on the not on the train, but I'm on the ship too. Yeah, the Buccaneers, I feel this is Super Bowl. Super Bowl. I'll even go far to say conference championship game I will accept. But if they get past it, I will not be surprised. One of the things that you see this team gets further, because it's weird and we're not mediocre, we're not viewed in. We're kind of viewed very confidently by a lot of sources, and I don't like that attention. But Tampa fans, if we're in the conference championship game, do not be surprised. If we're in the Super Bowl, definitely don't be surprised. And a lot of those players will be like, yeah, we've been here before, including Todd Bowles. You don't think you have a game plan ready for that Super Bowl, whoever he plays? So to me, Tampa fans, Super Bowl bound, don't be surprised. So, we're done with that. Now we go to the last team in the NFC South, and that will be the Carolina Panthers, who I believe are in the middle of competitive to fluke. And we'll see which one they are. But the Carolina Panthers will help us conclude the NFC South NFL 2025 draft preview. Not draft preview, but treat preview. Panthers. Until next time, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic. Thank you so very much for watching.